Well, still though, I think it's time to. Obviously the Vikings are going to be a tough team at the Metrodome.
Right.
It always is.
They always are. But recently, I mean, look, just because they made a coaching change doesn't mean that the Vikings are definitely going to be a threat to the Giants defense, because Favre is going to be on his back many, many times against the Giants.
Right.
When they kick. I still think, look, I understand what you're saying. Wait till you face the Eagles at home, and then you can go out there and you can do whatever you want. But still, these guys need playing time. Practice is not enough to simulate real game situations.
Yes.
So I say, look, you want them to play against Minnesota? Do it. And Minnesota, no matter, fine, they got that win with the new interim head coach, but still, you got to put them out there. You got to play them, and I think the Giants will win that game.
Giants defense is the best team against the passing.
Yes.
Right.
Best defense against the
If
pass.
the Giants win this game against the Redskins, and the Redskins don't have a running game, I don't think Portis is playing.
Redskins, no.
So Santana Moss is still the best receiver.
Santana Moss is the best receiver of the Washington Redskins.
On the Redskins.
I should know.
Hey, McNabb can't scramble like he has in the past.
That pass rush is coming.
Pass rush is coming. They got Perry Field's got to bring the blitz like he did against Garrard in the later stages of the Jaguars game. That last several plays, they sacked him 3 times without forced a fumble. That's what they got to do. The Giants, as opposed to what they were doing early in the year, were not bringing the pressure with the front four like they were.
Right.
All right. So, hey, I think the Giants can win this game by playing a ho-hum game, playing ball control, and once again, Jacobs is going to get the start. Ooh, gee, what a shock! They didn't commit. If they don't commit any turnovers and don't make bad penalties, even their kickoff coverage has gotten better. It was miserable at the start of the year.
How about Danny Ware returning kicks now? Good call.
Good call.
Yes.
Because the other kick, Blackman got hurt.
Well.
All right. What else? So anyway, if the Giants can win this game, go to 8-4. Going into that last 4 really tough games
against Philly. What else is their schedule? The Giants?
Minnesota.
At Minnesota.
At Minnesota, Philly at home, and then at the Packers.
At the Packers.
And at the Redskins. Now, the Packer game, I fear more than the Philly game coming in here because the Packers.
On December 26th at Lambeau Field.
Right.
What do you think the temperature is going to be there?
Who knows? Doesn't bother Eli. But the Packers are going to need that game because even though they're a game behind the Bears, they end up the season against the Bears, and that game might be for either the number 1 seed or at least for the NFC North.
You know what's going to be?
The Packers are playing for their playoff lives, right? Not playing for playoff lives, but for positioning.
But the Jets will be in Chicago on December 26th.
Yeah.
So that, Packers, Giants, Bears, Jets, those games can impact.
They will.
The
playoff
NFC
positioning.
North for playoff positioning.
And we got a lot to talk about the AFC playoff positioning. There's a lot going on here.
We have a point brought up here. Tell me, is a 69.5 completion percentage good?
No.
That was what McNabb was. That was McNabb.
69 percentage or passer rating?
Completion percentage.
Yes, almost 70%. Yeah.
515 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception in his 2 wins last season with the Eagles.
Yeah, and that's the key word, wins.
Yep.
All right.
That's what he did last year.
Yeah.
Is he going to do the same thing? No.
No, he doesn't have the cast around him.
Nope.
Doesn't have Vincent Jackson. DeSean Jackson. Doesn't have Macklin.
No Macklin.
All right. Doesn't have the running attack.
Nope.
Because remember, last year he still had
Westbrook.
Right, and the guy that got hurt at the start of the year.
McCoy.
No.
Other way around. He doesn't have McCoy, and the guy got hurt in the beginning.
Who's the guy that tore up his knee in the second game of the year? The other running back for the Eagles. Well, anyway, but he doesn't have the cast.
Not Correll Buckhalter. I know that. He's the one that usually gets his knee torn up every year. That's all I know.
But anyway, he doesn't have the cast around him.
Yep.
Offensively or defensively. And that team is a little bit of turmoil. Remember, Shannon's, him and McNabb are still not getting along.
Dan Schneider just wanted to get the best names that he could have possibly gotten for his team.
He's trying to be the Steinbrenner
football.
You can't do.
Team that is?
What?
His fantasy football team?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
He tried to be the Steinbrenner football, try to put together an all-star team. You can't do that in football.
Dan Snyder goes for names, not numbers.
Right.
Exactly. And now we move on to the most important game at the end of the NFL week. In
a season has a lot. In a weekend has a lot of important games.
It does, but what's the most important game at the end of the week, though?
The Monday nighter.
That is right. Jets at the Patriots, ladies and gentlemen.
Legitimately the best game of the week.
All right, real quick. Before we get to that,
Yes.
prediction of the Giant
the
game.
prediction of the Giant game, 10 points.
All right.
By Giants by 10.
20-10.
I'll give you 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 20-10. 2 touchdowns?
I'll give you 2 touchdowns for
Wow.
the Giants.
14.
Wow.
Okay.
I'll give you
The Giants don't blow teams out.
No, but the Favre's going to be on his back all game long.
I think 2013.
Okay.
Something like that.
Wait a minute. We got our feedback here. Jake says by 3 to 7, Redskins. Okay. And Tim is writing a novel. And
Obviously, he's a Giant hater.
Tim says Giants.
Right.